everybody. Today we are going to be focusing on phantom braking. This current version, FSD Beta 10.2, has had a terrible time with phantom braking, at least in with my use. So I'm going to drive around today, try to find some spots that have given me trouble before, and we'll see how we make out. I think I have my ideal camera setup now. I have a GoPro Hero 6 facing me. I have a GoPro Hero 9 Black facing outside of the car from the inside. And I have a GoPro Max on the top of the car to film everything around the car. It also does, it's good to point out, at least in my experience, the phantom braking seems to be worse when it's daytime. In the evening, it's less of a problem. Yesterday, coming home from dinner with my wife and kids, I did have an experience where, it did phantom brake in the evening, but I'd say it's far more rare for it to happen, at least for me. I'm going to change my, actually I'm going to let it complete this turn first. I'm going to change my waypoint. This hill coming up here is one that I know it has trouble with. Now it needs to get around this truck here, but it's a little hesitant. It's a lot hesitant. I'm going to take over and position the car where it needs to be. And then we'll re-engage. There's the first spot, went from 40 to 37. Not terrible, but it never used to do that before I switched to the FSD Beta, which has the pure vision, so it's not using any of the radar in the car. There, did it again. That was worse. That I'm gonna have to push the accelerator. So that went from 40 to 28. Now you'll notice, if I remember correctly, it does that on the way up and down the hill at approximately the same point. But I could be wrong. That's why we're going to try it. So I'm going to pull over here, change my waypoint, and then try going down that hill. Did a good job going around that guy there. That didn't make me comfortable. It probably would have stopped. But better to be safe than sorry right now. I've seen it do too many bizarre things, so it's better to be safe than sorry there. Okay, so now we are set to 40, going to 35 down this hill. Remember when we were coming up, it slowed down, and there we go again. Now that time went down to just 33. Not so bad. You could say maybe it's because of the flashing yellow, but there was a flashing yellow coming up the hill, and that didn't have any impact on it. So we're going to actually turn around, go one more time up the hill, and I want to just confirm that that it's repeatable and it's happening in the same spot each time. Oh, well, that went from 40 to 31 and back up to 40. Alright, so we're going to turn around and go back up the hill again and see if we can reproduce that phantom braking in the same spot. Change our waypoint again. From 40 to 36 right there, 34, and then back up. That was a quick one, So, you know, that's kind of different. That's different than when it, you know, just stays going slower. In this case, it kind of quickly went down and then right back up to 40. So you can see we're passing the flashing yellow here, and it's not slowing down. Now there is cars behind me, so I'm going to really keep an eye on this, because if it slows down at the same spot, which I suspect it will, oh. Now you'll notice on the screen, it thought that there was somebody in the middle of the road. It had a little outline of a person. Maybe that's the problem. So let's try that. Actually, we're going to do one more up and down, because I want to see if that little person shows up in the screen like it just did there. I always wonder what people, you know, if somebody's out walking and they see, you know, my car pass 6 or 7 times in the same exact spot, you know, and they see cameras on top. I wonder if they think I'm somebody working for Google doing mapping and I'm just lost. Okay, so we're going to go back down the hill. The other thing when I'm testing too that I find that's important is when I'm testing for stuff like phantom braking, I like to make sure that I don't have any cars in front of me, because I think that sometimes throws off the testing. Because I think the lead car sometimes helps it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's the sense I get. All right, so we're back up to 40. Going back down the hill. Slow down there for just a little bit. Again, not nearly as bad as when it's coming up. There's one. All right, it thought it saw somebody on a bicycle, and then it stopped, or it started to slow down. So on the way back up, if it sees what it thinks is a person on a bicycle in the middle of the road when there is nobody there, I'm going to send that one to Tesla. And then I think I'll follow up with an email to them too, because I don't know exactly, you know, when I press the button to send it to Tesla, I don't know what type of context is included in that submission. So I want to point out that the car thinks there's somebody in the road that's not there. And I'm actually wondering now, the areas where it was happening to me in other parts of around where I live, I wonder if that's the same thing that was happening, if it just thought that it saw something in the road. All right, I'm going to change my waypoint again. I have somebody coming up real fast behind me now. Well, they were from, yeah. And now he's riding right on my butt. Okay, so let's see if we see a person on a bike in the virtual world here. Yep, right there. Okay, so now we know at least why the phantom braking is happening there. And again, I'll point out when I drive at night, it does not see anybody there. So, all right, so let's continue on. You know what? I forgot to send that to Tesla. Hopefully they get that. Click that a little bit too late. So I guess that mystery is solved. So we're going to try to find some other spots where I've had issues with it and see what happens. And I'm just slowing down to let that car get in front of me. I really want to just let the car judge as if the road was open to it, to see if it brakes. You'll notice a lot of times when at the very beginning, when it starts to see things, it does for a moment identify it as a person walking, or at least it did back there. Oh, see right there. That was just a little blip from 36 to 34. Good stop there. This section of road coming up here, I've gone over this a number of times, but because it's an unmarked road, and the way that version 10.2 currently deals with that is it's going to try to go towards the middle of the road if there's nobody in the road. So I may have to disengage. It just makes people uncomfortable to see a car, driving down the middle of the road. Good start there. Yeah, see, it's already, I can feel it in the wheel. It's, it wants to get towards that middle of the road. It does always move over, but especially here, I'm riding in the middle of the road. I'm coming over a blind. It moved over. That was good. I don't think that was intentional, but yeah, we're back to the middle. That was a pretty darn smooth left turn there. That was excellent. If I had to be really critical, I would have liked to have seen it pull a little bit further in, straight and then make the left turn. But overall, excellent job. Good stop there. So that one caught me off guard because it jerked to the right, then put the signal on, and there was a bus to the right of me. We're actually coming up on the infamous curb eater, but we're not going to be turning onto that street. You can also see here, it thinks we're going to be going, well, it's not sure. It says left or straight. So we'll see what it tries to do once the light turns. Good job there. Now it needs to stay in the left lane here. Oh, okay. We're going to send that one. It thought that it could just go. I'm guessing because of the green light on the right-hand side. But it cannot obviously go until it turns green on the left light. Everyone looks to the left from the upper camera, that corner right there where the fire hydrant is. That's where the curb incident happened. And as many people pointed out, you can see lots and lots of marks on that curb, so I'm not the only one that's hit that curb, and regular human drivers have clearly hit that curb a number of times. So it thought that truck was moving, even though it was stationary. So it slammed on the brakes. Again, I disengaged there because it was kind of pushed into the middle of the road. Oh, that's my waypoint. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. See if we can find some other spots. I know there's one situation where it's going to do it when it's in regular autopilot, which is fine because the issue with phantom braking, I think, is really, I think, has nothing to do with FSD, and it has more to do with the, what do they call that? The new system they're using, right? Where they're not using the radar anymore. Pure vision, that's right, just hit me. So yeah, I think it has more to do with pure vision than anything else. Good set of stop signs there. Did a good job stopping and going again. Although that's one of the easiest maneuvers for FSD to do. You could see the difference between if there was HD maps versus no HD maps. Like, we don't have HD maps here, and see how it can't, it's doing a pretty good job of reading the lines, but and the closer it gets, the better it gets. But if our area had high definition maps, it would have perfectly, drawn everything on the screen. And now we're again hovering towards the middle, so I'm going to disengage. I hope in 10.3 they fix, or at least adjust that behavior. Now, if you watched one of my videos from last week, you will remember I did this turn coming up here a bunch of times, turning onto the interstates here. Now, oh, look at that. Good job. All right. Okay, so I did this turn up here a number of times, and it was in the dark, though. I'm probably going to end up disengaging because it's very busy today. But there's a stop sign at the end of this on-ramp because they're doing construction. And if there's no cars here, it's going to ramp right up to 55, and it will miss the stop sign. I mean, it'll stop, but it'll go way into the highway. Now, today it's cheating because there's cars here. So now it looks perfect, somewhat. I'm still going to give it a little push. And it should be switching into regular autopilot now. Yep, it just did. Slow down, we're in construction. Again, you'll notice, oh, for a split second, it actually switched to FSD and then went back again into regular autopilot. I'm going to disengage here because it's going to start moving all over the place. It always does that because it can't make out where the road lines are. It eventually finds its way, but there's a bunch of cars behind me, and I don't want to freak them out. And then I'm going to change my waypoint. So there's a spot coming back the direction I'm heading, or I'm about to head on this interstate that I've had a number of phantom braking episodes. So now that I know to look out for what the car thinks is a person in the road, I'm going to see if the same thing happens now. So I'm not going to engage until I get around here. Another fellow electric car right there, a Hyundai Kona. So this is about where it usually does it. There's a lot of traffic out here today, though. All right, so I didn't do it this time. It usually does it right there. Well, that's a maneuver I really love, is it always pulls hard to that left lane. I'm gonna just, I'm not gonna send that one. I don't think that's really anything other than because of the construction. And then I'm gonna head up a different hill where I had another issue with some phantom braking. So again, kind of I guess for positive that it didn't happen, but it has happened regularly. A little earlier on that part of the highway back there. change my waypoint again to force it to go up the way I need it to go. Good job on that left turn. That was great. It's probably on its best behavior. There's a sheriff up there in front of us. Good right turn. Gonna go. Yes, it is. Okay, that was good. Another Tesla up here. All right, so I'm going to push the speed to 5 miles over the speed limit. And let's see if we get any phantom braking on the way up the hill here. There we go. 45 to 40. There's a good one. 45 to 33. $45 to 36. Now that one could have been because of the guy in the lawnmower, maybe. So we're actually gonna, I'm gonna go back down this hill and then, actually, you know what, I'm gonna take a right here and then go down a different way and then come back up this hill again. I wanna see if we can reproduce those braking events in the same spot. Okay, so let's re-engage. A little bit there, 45 to 39. When I'm going back up the hill coming up here, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the road, but also try to glance at the screen to see if it's the same problem we had on that original hill. You know, is it thinking that there's somebody on a bicycle or somebody walking in the middle of the road, and is that why it's slowing down? So that turn was fine. My only comment is it could have gone sooner. It waited a little bit, which then made, I would think it made it a little uncomfortable for the person. That's why I did actually give it a little bit of, and I pushed on the accelerator just a tad to edge push it along. Okay, right-hand turn. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, send that. It looked like it was going to do that turn real smooth, and then the last minute kind of just jutted out. Submitted that one to Tesla. That should be a good one for them to review. Okay, so we're going back up the hill. Well, okay, I'm going to actually stop here for just a second and pull over because we need to have, I don't want that truck in the way. It's going to throw things off. And now there's a car coming. All right. I'm going to accelerate quickly, get up to speed here. Slow down a little bit, which is the same place it did last time. Okay, so I don't know if you caught that, but there was a little person in the screen. I shouldn't say a little person, it was just a regular person. And it didn't step on the brakes as harshly as last time, but it did step on the brakes. So I want to try that one more time, only because I feel like we could do a better job of that. So I'll disengage. I'm going to go around one more time. With the last video, I did start uploading, you know, cut up versions and then uncut versions of the videos. So feel free to let me know in the comments, you know, if you prefer one over the other. Based on the view count, it seems as though people like the longer uncut ones where I don't do any post-production. I can't say I don't mind that. Those take almost no time to put up. But I do enjoy doing the, you know, more polished, finished product. I've been learning a lot about how to use Final Cut, and I'm sure if you have been following through my videos since I started, you can see, you know, as my skill levels improved with final cut, the finished product is, hopefully, you've noticed, has improved as well. So we're going back down that hill again. I guess this will serve as a good test. We'll see if it makes that right-hand turn any better when it goes to turn back up the hill. All right, I'm gonna push it again. No, I'm gonna stop it. I know that it was gonna try to go there because that's what it always does, and better safe than sorry. All right, let's see how it makes this right-hand turn. If you remember, just a few minutes ago, it was real sloppy. That was much, much better. So that was good. For those of you watching, no, it did not learn back there. It was just chance. The one time it did it okay, and the next time it didn't. The car does not learn in between drives or during drives. All right, so again, I'm going to slow down and let this car get plenty far ahead of us, and hopefully another car does not come up on us. All right, I think it's safe to go now. So again, a little brake there. Coming up on our normal spot. Let's see what happens. Little jolt. There we go. Down to 38. For a split second, it saw somebody on the screen. So, I mean, it's a similar condition to what happened before on that other hill. Although over on the other hill, it literally showed somebody on a bicycle being right in the middle of the road. So, in this case, it just for a split second displayed somebody. Oh, another little jolt. I don't know, I could be completely wrong on why it's braking like this. All I do know is it did not do this prior to me getting FSD beta. I actually rarely, if ever, had issues with phantom braking in my, prior to FSD beta. Now here it really should pull out further before